Evening. Here we are up in the building. I'm on my own today. Well, not technically. Technically, I'm on my own because Robbo just could not stand the pressure. So he said, Ernie, I'm going to have a Friday off. He just could not stand the pressure from last week. The heat was too much for him. So he's sadly at home kipping. But, of course, Crystal, forever the true champion, is here. And we have seconded Lewis Mastermind from
Good
Chelsea.
evening. God bless everybody. How are we? Welcome.
Good. So Robbo is at home, is he? It's funny because he called me earlier in the week and he said something about going to Liverpool to help clear that space in their trophy cabinet. And I was like, okay, you're funny. And then I just turned my TV on and I see him in a half and half scarf at the Egypt and Senegal game. So clearly, he has some explaining to do.
He's an international guy. He's international.
Because he told me that he couldn't take the pressure. So obviously he's changed his mind. But anyway, we carry on as we do because this is the fixture list. So welcome everybody. Friday night fixture. Lewis is here, I said, and also Crystal. And first things, we want you to share, right? So what does Robbo do? Robbo does or something. I don't even know. You know what I mean? Never walk alone in the business there. Just click that share button and let's get them shares up on YouTube and get everybody share it with your friends and everything. Also, we got, as usual, say good evening. You got to say good evening to Crystal.
Good evening, Crystal.
Good evening, guys. And the guys in the comment section as well.
Yes. Do you know that my son had a go at me last week? He says he don't like the way that I'm talking to Crystal and getting everybody to say good evening to her like we're ganging up on her. But I said, we ain't ganging up on her. She loves it.
I like your son. Your son is Team Crystal. Say a special good evening to your son.
Oh, God. She said that he reckons that I mustn't gang up on Crystal. I said, I'm not ganging up.
I like your son. You see, your son is a very clever gentleman. I like him.
It takes time. You see his mother, you'll see why he's so clever.
You know what, Lewis? Based off what Ernest said, I could tell it's all his mom's DNA.
And it's Mother's Day weekend, so
you know that. I've got to be careful actually because I'm tagging along. It's Mother's Day weekend, and he says I can come, so I'll be tagging along. Any mishaps tonight, and I could get a phone call saying, "Here, what happened?" Just stay up. You know what I mean? So I've got to be kind of nice. Robbo's in. He's under disguise. I like Robbo. Who's this, Mr. Suleiman?
Yeah.
Mr. Suleiman. I bet you that's Robbo in disguise. Look up some more of that.
He's got Robbo's baby picture up.
My daughter did to Crystal. My daughter.
See what you've done, Daddy Ernie. I'm glad I have people on my side, though. You have to be careful because they might come and find you.
Romford Jeff is in the house nice and early. Remember?
Nice one, Romford.
You know that. Drop your comments in the box. Very essential. So we what they say, we're communicating with one another. You know what I mean? The fans and us, we're communicating. So we need your comments in the box there for the duration of the show. So we're going to talk about Chelsea, obviously, because Lewis is here. He's a kind of a Chelsea aficionado, one of about three that we've got. So he might have some really juicy inside news for us. I suppose we're going to talk about Jamaica, who really is not really, and all that. Crystal, we want to talk about that.
We are more than happy for us to talk about that because I know you're eager. So.
And that is about the football, not about William and Kate, is it?
No, that's not about William and Kate. Definitely not. Although they nearly got drowned in the Bahamas today. I've never seen so much rain in my life.
A lot of rain in the Bahamas.
What? Of course, a game that I think England's playing Switzerland, but the game for me in this round of friendlies is England against Ivory Coast, which I do believe is on Tuesday at Wembley. Gonna be a very interesting game. Packed, Ivory Coast packed with Premier League players up against England. I think it should be feisty. And I'm interested to see how Zaha plays, having defected, rightly so, from the England camp, joining up with the Ivory Coast. I'm interested to see how he plays against England. So we've got plenty of stuff to talk about.
I think before I'll bring up a little chart for you guys where
Okay.
England is concerned. That's Daddy Ernie's favorite country, even though he tries to make out that it's Jamaica. I learned today that it actually isn't.
Yeah.
So I'll bring it up for you guys so you guys can see bit of shade screen. If you're wondering what is that, that's a shade screen. So you should be able to see it on your screens. It's England versus Switzerland tomorrow. So Daddy Ernie will be hoping that his favorite player, Raheem Sterling, finds the back of the net. He usually does for England. So they'll be kicking off at 5:30 p.m. tomorrow against Switzerland. And then the other fixture that Daddy Ernie was talking about is England versus Ivory Coast on Tuesday for 7:45. So you can go ahead and set your clocks.
Is Sterling back from Jamaica? Because I saw him shaking.
Yeah, I saw him in training. He's back.
And
where were they in Jamaica? Trenchtown or somewhere, weren't they? He said.
Yeah, in the community, the little kickabout with Leon Bailey and Prince William.
I think they were playing against Donovan Germain, who's CEO of Penthouse Records. He manages that team that they were playing. So it was interesting. And I did see William do a little thing and set up a goal for Raheem, but I think that was more for the cameras than actually proper thing. You know what I mean? It looks like he's got two left foots to me, old William. But anyway, he supports Aston Villa, so I suppose we can't really expect anything less than two left foot.
Two left feet. Better than what his dancing was anyway. But yeah, better than his dancing.
You know that. Frank Scully says they were at the Bob Marley Museum.
Yeah, I saw, was it Prince William? I'm pretty sure I saw him take a picture next to the Bob Marley statue, the one with the guitar in his hand or something like that.
Well, the thing is, right, I was looking at that closely, right? And if it's the museum, it wasn't the one at Hope Road. It didn't, not unless they went in the back way, because Hope Road is quite a busy road. And it didn't look to me like it was Hope Road. So I'm not sure. Maybe there's another museum downtown in Trenchtown. I don't know. Maybe Frank can enlighten us on that. He's another Chelsea supporter as well, old Frank Scully. You know what I mean?
But, look, Tony Irish has done it. Tony Irish has started the war. He's shot fired.
Yeah, Tony Irish, behave yourself, right? Just behave yourself, right? We don't need William up there. He's an Aston Villa supporter, so that's where he's gonna go.
He's a villain.
Yeah, if he's going anywhere, that's where he's gonna go. So what's up first? What we got first? Should we touch on last night's proceedings, Crystal?
I know you're desperate to go there, so I'm going to line that one up for you because I know you want to laugh at my pain. So I'll bring up another shared screen for you guys so you can have a look at what we're talking about. And it is
screen, doesn't she?
I like it. It's visual. You don't like it?
Yes.
See, when you got order in the house, then you got to follow fashion.
Yes, you know that. You know she's taking control neatly in it without really letting everyone know. You know that she's taking control neatly in it, Lewis.
I am trying to do a good job for Robbo. So hopefully he will like it when he comes back or when he look back at it. So I'm glad I have you guys' seal of approval so far. So yeah, touching on last night's game, the screen pretty much speak for itself. You can read the score for yourself. But if you don't want to do that, then I'll go ahead and read it out for you. It's finished 1-1 against El Salvador on home soil at the National Stadium, the office for Jamaica. And you can see there that El Salvador took the lead in the 21st minute. And thankfully, they were pegged back in the 72nd minute for the equalizer scored by Andre Gray. And it was a nice finish from Andre Gray. Not because I support Jamaica. I think it was a game where definitely for the second half, both halves actually, we asked plenty of questions, and I think safe to say that we should have at least scored 4 goals in that match. So it should have probably finished 4-1.
Wow.
And I mean the
number of shots I had, 17
yeah.
shots.
17 shots to 7 for El Salvador. And that's quite something because we've been guilty of not taking our chances or not even trying to create chances at the early stage of the World Cup qualifiers. So I think at this stage, it's safe to say it's a new and improved Reggae Boys from what I saw. And it's quite telling. I think Paul Hall deserves credit for last night's match, sneaking out a point. Obviously, in terms of the ranking, it doesn't mean anything in terms of qualifying because we're right bang there in 7th place, sitting on 8 points. But for this match was framed as the building for the future. So this is the start of us building for the next World Cup cycle. And before we get to the World Cup cycle, we obviously have Nations League and Gold Cup. And prior to the game, in the press conference prior to the El Salvador game, we had a few comments from the gaffer being Paul Hall, and you can see there Jamaica head coach hits back. Paul Hall asks players to put Jamaica first. And that was basically because of some of the stuff that was stated in the press conference, a few of the key players. So I'll read something here from you guys. In the press conference for the El Salvador game, head coach Hall clarified the reason behind key player omission from the likes of West Ham's Mikel Antonio, Brentford's Ethan Pinnock, and Rangers' Kemal Roof, and also AFC Bournemouth's Jamal Lowe. And basically, Paul Hall said, I'll be honest, personally, I feel some of the reasons that the players have pulled out have been disappointing. And I am not here to talk about who has pulled out because there are plenty of reasons for me to talk about the ones who were here and want to be here. And he went on paraphrasing to saying that he wants it going forward. He wants people to put Jamaica first. It's Jamaica first over everything. So clearly he's hinting there in the press conference leading up to the match that it is Jamaica over club. And you can't really argue with that. And yeah, he's so far added a lot of transparency where Jamaica is concerned, because I think we missed that. We missed seeing that element of transparency for the team and looking at a few of their upcoming matches. Next in line on Sunday, we are off to Canada. So that's a different climate for those young Reggae Boys. The bulk of our squad has the majority of the squad, particularly the ones on the bench, they come from the Jamaica Premier League. So obviously they're not used to life overseas, especially when you're going to be playing in freezing temperatures. So that's going to be a huge test for them. And then we conclude our World Cup qualifiers back at the office, back at home against Honduras. And that will be played on Thursday if you're in the UK. Believe 2:05 on Thursday if you're in the UK. And then obviously that means time difference. That final game will be played on Wednesday if you're based in Jamaica and Canada and America.
I just want to add, sorry, and I was going to say, we've got the same old problem that we had before when we had some of the Jamaica hierarchy on a few months ago around the Jamaican release of players and the attitude that some of the FA, for example, take towards getting these players. I mean, David Moyes came out and made a few comments about Miguel Antonio, and others have made comments about not taking the seriousness of the Africa nations and the Caribbean nations and the release of players, opposed to some of the stronger clubs in the European leagues that can be more robust about getting their players released. So that will never change, which is sad, really sad. I think every football federation should be treated with the same equality as everybody else. Again, there's a bit of inequality there, and it was called out before. So I only hope that people recognize that and encourage it rather than discourage it.
Yeah, I was going to pick up on that as well. But as you've done that, is Paul Hall, is he officially the manager of the Reggae Boys now, or is he still the interim manager?
Well, the way Paul Hall has presented himself over the last few press conferences, the post-match conference and the press conference leading up to the game itself, he is pretty much putting himself in the driving seat. He did say that he is laying down the foundation, be it for himself or for the next manager to sit in the driving seat. But I'm hearing whispers that apparently the Jamaica Football Federation are ready to give Paul Hall the job on a full-time basis. So I guess it's from here, between maybe sometime after the conclusion, maybe days after the final game against Honduras, we'll probably hear what's the final decision.
That's the same Paul Hall from Portsmouth, isn't it?
Yeah. The legend himself, also at Queen's Park Rangers.
Queen's Park Rangers as well.
Did he ever play for Charlton, Paul Hall?
Can have a look at Paul Hall's track record.
I'm
Yeah,
not sure. I think
Check that
he
out.
was at Derby or
He
somewhere.
wasn't a bad little midfield player, was he?
I think it was a winger. He was a left-sided winger. Left-sided
Was he?
player. Yeah, left. I think he's a left
Let's
winger.
bring him up.
Hey, Maranga from Kenya's on.
Yes, big up Maranga. I was trying to work out how do you say his name. I'm glad you got it. Big up Maranga from Kenya.
So
Big
I'll
up
bring up
Maranga.
that. I'll bring up that share screen for you guys again, just to
Share
unshare.
screen. Here we go.
Oh,
I
here we
love
go,
the
here
shared
we go.
screen.
Yeah, I think it's something that she's just come across, you know. Paul,
there we go.
where is he? I think didn't he have a spell at Charlton?
No, he's had more clubs than Tiger Woods, by the looks of
Didn't
it.
he? He's had a few.
You can see the clubs, right?
Yeah.
He's had a few.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
had a
Portsmouth,
few.
it's Portsmouth where I remember him mostly, but yeah.
But he wasn't a bad little player.
He weren't bad. No,
He
he wasn't
wasn't
bad.
bad. I mean,
No,
you know, he
Yeah,
was.
there he is, and obviously he went to the World Cup '98 with
That's right.
Jamaica.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Well done, Crystal. Well,
Yeah.
fingers crossed for Canada. And as I said, it's development now is what they need to do.
Yeah.
And I think that is now the time is now that players has got to put their foot down and say, listen, we want to go and represent our country. You know what I'm saying? Because if Spurs said, well, I mean, they do it here in a way, innit? Because all of a sudden, certain players get some mysterious injuries when they're playing the lesser teams, innit? Yeah. They all seem to be all right for the glamorous teams, but when they're playing the little teams, they seem to get some mysterious injuries. But
is that a segue into Gareth Bale there, Ern?
Well, you know, because what they say, he can't play for Real Madrid, he can play for Wales. What's that about?
Well, he got battered in the press in the Merca, the Spanish newspaper, called him a parasite, and they put up a meme of him in the shape of a parasite, and he's taking that really personal, which is a bit strong. And they're saying, and a reporter came on earlier on and came out the number of minutes he's played for Real Madrid in the last X amount of years compared to the minutes he's played for Wales. And he's played more minutes for Wales than what he has done from Real Madrid in the last few years.
It's weird because it's just like, can you blame him based off how they've treated him? And that's obviously we don't know what's happened internally, but in terms of the media and how hostile they've been towards Bale, it could come down to something that's so simple that he's clearly not happy in one environment and he's happy with another environment. I'm sure if the Welsh media treated him the same, he would have said, I'm not playing for you. But it's two different environments. One is rife and toxic, and the other one is warm and loving. So it's not really rocket science.
They never forgave him for when he put up that banner. Was it golf holiday, Wales golf in Madrid? I think he put up in a banner, didn't he? After a game. And after that,
I think their hatred for Bale started way before that, and it's an interesting one.
Do you think it's anything to do with the salary that he's on? Because he was on a whopping salary there, wasn't he?
Yeah, they couldn't get him off the wage bill. They tried to offload him to Tottenham for a bit to help them try and help improve Tottenham, but that really went well.
Around the car park. He was around the car park for a bit, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting one relating to Tony Irish comments. It's interesting where Jamaica is concerned because I get it. Like for a player like Antonio, I get it that you're pushing for potentially a top 4 finish. You're also in Europa League, so there's something there to play for. I totally get it. But for someone like, say, Harry Kane and Spurs, they're essentially still trying to push for top 4. For Pogba as well with Manchester United, they're still trying to push for top 4, but they're showing up for their country. Yes. So I do get where Mikel Antonio and the other players are coming from, but I mean, when your manager is trying to rely on you and is basically asking you to come and show up for your country because he's trying to kickstart a new project and take turn over a new chapter in Jamaica's footballing book, the least you could do is at least show up for one game. It's 3 games. Just show up for one game and say for the next 2, I'm unavailable.
Yeah. Same thing could be said for Pogba. He could show up for a Man United game now and again, couldn't he? I suppose.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Has he shown up for any this season yet?
When he plays for France, he's a completely different player.
Yeah, but I'm telling people when Pogba plays for France, he's got your man there,
Kante. Yeah,
he's got Kante doing all the dirty work and just give him the ball and let him do what he's doing. You know what I mean? So
if he works that way, and why did he do that with Man United?
Well, he ain't got nobody. He has to do the hard work at Manchester United. He don't want to do that. He just wants to prance around his new hairstyle.
Well, he's come out and saying he's suffering from depression, isn't he, this week? To say he's been suffering from depression and he wants to wait to the end of the season. And there's two Premier League clubs are looking at Pogba. I wonder who they might be.
Yeah, I wonder. Burnley and Southampton.
Well, I reckon Newcastle's won because they're going to have all the money. But I'll give you an outside bet. It wouldn't surprise me if Tottenham are one of them as well.
No. He couldn't go down to the Sainsbury's car park. That would be disgusting.
Well, Conte, remember Conte, Juventus, that link? There's always that to think about.
Thing is, with Paul Pogba, there's similarities there between how he's treated repeatedly by the British press and how Gareth Bale is treated over in Spain. And it's no difference. Like at the end of the day, they're not robots. They're human beings just like all of us, and they do have feelings and emotions. And it's interesting that when Paul Pogba had that open interview where he's talking about experiencing depression, I'm assuming that if he's experiencing depression, then that would kind of give you an insight as to why performances may not be at the expected standard. But when he came out and he gave such an honest interview, again, you look back at the British press and it's almost as if you're mocking what he's saying. Yeah. It's just like, where do you stop?
I mean, look what's happened recently now. Look as you talk about the British press, and especially black players, especially. We had all the issue around Raheem and the house and Phil Foden. Look what they did there. Sal, look at Zuma. Now, I'm not condoning him kicking the cat. Don't get me wrong. But look what happened to Barton and his wife.
You know that, bro. I was going to come up with that.
Look at that. So look at it. Has Barton got... Was he not Jerry Barton? I forgot his first name.
Joey
Barton.
Joey Barton.
Look what he did with his wife. The physical abuse, kicking his wife in the head.
Now, hold on. Is this proven or is it allegation?
Well, it's in court. It came out in court.
Yes.
So when you go to court, you can just take it as it's been published. But the comparisons are there for all to see.
Now, which is worse?
Been done by the RSPCA for cruelty to animals, which is not condoning it. But then the kind of coverage that all sponsors that left him, they've done this, they've done that. Barton abusing women, his wife,
and kicking his wife in the head.
What's happened there? Has he still got a job? Has he been ridiculed in any way, shape, or form? So I know it's still being discussed and it's still in the court of law, etc. But I'm just pulling up the kind of way the press like to react to different scenarios and
selective reaction.
Yeah.
I mean, we can look at there's countless. I mean, we can look at Slabhead at United, completely off form. Completely off form. Yeah, him in Greece as well. Where has that gone, Lewis?
You tell me, it's your mate.
No, I haven't. I've been asking the question considerably for quite a long time, actually, and I can't get no just answers. But where's that gone? Also, he is completely out of form. He gets picked for England. And, all right, forget Rashford. Sancho doesn't get picked for England. Now, what is that about?
I didn't get that one. I didn't get that why they didn't pick Sancho. Because Sancho seems to be coming into some form. The last 2 to 3 games, he's really done well. Yeah. So I don't know if Southgate's looking at it and saying, well, I know what he can do. He's doing well. Let me just say, look, take a break, take a little 5 here. Let me bring somebody else in. But I was surprised that Sancho didn't get a pick for that.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we have a request here, so I'm going to go back and bring up my shared screen again.
Oh,
shared screen looks like famous tonight. Yes,
there we go.
Oh, yes.
So this one here.
Oh.
Now, Lewis touched on this before we come on air. What on earth went on there, Lewis?
It's crazy. North Macedonia.
Where is Macedonia? Where is it?
It's one of them breakaway republics and it's the North Macedonia. I think there's 2 different Macedonians. This is North Macedonia. I think their footballing nation is or population's limited. It's about as big as Wales, if that. And they've come and they've turned over the European champions. Jorginho, Immobile, all those top players, and they're not going to the World Cup.
Did it go down to penalties or something?
No, they scored in the 93rd minute, I think it was.
Jorginho missed the penalty though, didn't he?
No, he didn't miss a penalty. The Macedonia scored in about the 93rd minute.
Right.
And that was it.
Yeah.
93rd minute.
That has got to be one of the biggest shocks of the last decade, isn't it? Macedonia knocks out Italy of the European champions out of the World Cup.
It's crazy.
I think there's going to be a few heads. I think there's going to be a few heads on beds.
I think Mancini will survive. I'll tell you why he'll survive.
Yeah, Mancini will survive. I'm worried about the players. They're going to find a few heads on their bed.
Yeah. The Godfather analogy comes back again. Yeah, that was a shock. That was a shock result. That was a shock result.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I mean, Frank Scully is. I don't know. Maybe Frank has got some inside information he could let us have. I don't think there is any really.
Is it Franco Scully? Is it Gianfranco Scully?
Yeah, Gianfranco Scully. He scored. I mean, they scored, and that's it. Really, there's no inside information to have. I find it absolutely incredible. When I saw it in the paper, I kind of looked twice because I thought something was wrong.
Yeah,
and I looked twice. Out.
Yeah, definitely a shock. Definitely a shock. So they're out, and then Portugal got through to Turkey, beat them through. But Turkey could have made it 2-2, but Ilmaz missed a penalty, skied it at 2-1, missed a penalty, and that was it. Portugal scored in the last few minutes again to make it 3-1.
The goal that Jota scored in that game, tremendous header.
He gets the goals. He gets the goals.
He does. I mean, that's what you call a shrewd buy by the Scouts, isn't it? A shrewd buy.
That one and Diaz.
Yes.
So it's really, they.
Oh, where's he gone?
I'm here. Sorry, I'm here.
Oh, all right. I'm not good at lip reading.
Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. So that was that one. So we've had an interesting couple of weeks as my team.
I mean, to look at what Daddy Ernest said, or to chime in onto what Daddy Ernest said in terms of players potentially getting the chop. If we go over and look at their squad, potentially yes, but they do have a squad with players that approaching the peak years of their career. So Donnarumma there on 23 years old. One of the players that you guys, we all know about, Chiellini. If you are a Tottenham supporter, he's probably your least favorite player for obvious reasons of what he said about Tottenham. He's 37 there, and you can see the age of some of their well-primed players, 34, 37. But the bulk of their squad are sitting on a comfortable age, so there shouldn't really be much there for them to worry about. In terms of the transition between the integrating the youth and the experienced players. One of my players that I profiled for the fixture list was Chiesa. He's 24 years old. He's injured at the moment. You can see the injury sign. Cruciate ligament rupture, as it says over there, if you can read that on the screen. And he picked that one up on the 1st of August. So steadily approaching a year. Hopefully he'll be back in a good time, good planning. But that's all there is. And you will be seeing that shade screen again, guys.
Yeah, we can't not see it.
Can't not see it. Crystal shared screen. Tony Irish, Mancini would be a sought-after club manager. There's not too many good ones out there. Will he want to come back as a club manager? Because he done pretty well at Man City.
Would you take him?
What, at United?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
No,
I don't.
I see 50% Haag is in the chair. They've got Pochettino. You got Lopetegui. I can never say his name. Lopetegui.
Who's he?
Enrique. He's the guy at Seville. He was the one who was a Spanish national manager. Right. And then during the World Cup tournament, he announced he was going to Real Madrid, and they pulled him out halfway through the tournament because he announced he was leaving at the end of the World Cup. And you've got Luis Enrique, who's a Spanish national manager now. They're the four that you've got to select from. So who's your man, Ern?
Ten Hag. I'm warming to Ten Hag. Ranić and Van der Sar. I'm warming to that little three there to really knuckle down and steer the club in the right direction.
But will Van der Sar come?
Well, this is the problem. I think if Van der Sar comes, Ten Hag comes. If Van der Sar don't come, then I think we might have a problem getting Ten Hag.
Yeah.
I mean, what would be you would like the return of Van der Sar, but in what capacity?
No, well, he's the job that he does at Ajax at the moment. He's kind of director of football.
I think at my
Yeah, he's director.
So you're seeking for a director of football. I don't know. I'm not doubting his abilities and capabilities, but based off what we've seen at Manchester United, where there is this closeness and this bond with their legends and former players, it kind of feels like you might be borderline toying with insanity. Is it not better to just try something new? No, with all due respect with Manchester United, I'm not trying to throw any shade at them. Yeah, I'm just wondering, isn't it best to just try a new formula, test the waters and see what you get from it?
Well, yeah, but I think that if he comes, I don't think he's going to be, playing up with one of them legends. I think he's just going to come and he's going to be serious.
I think my bet for it is, I said it last week on the chat, is Pochettino. I think Pochettino will get the job, and I think with that, Harry Kane will come with him.
Please,
that's what I think.
Oh God,
that's what I think. That's what I think will happen.
It's worst scenario.
You reckon? You wouldn't take Harry Kane to Man United, then?
I don't like him. I don't like Sugar Cane. I don't like him. Man. No, I don't like Sugar Cane. Sugar Cane, Rooney, them money. I don't like them money because they get big up. They get so much big up that it makes me ill. You know what I mean?
All
yeah.
Right.
It's just like Shearer. When I heard Shearer was coming, there was a chance of him coming to United. I categorically said, if he comes, I'm going to stop supporting Man United.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Them man ain't supposed to come Old Trafford, man.
Oh Lord.
You know what I mean?
All right. So just a little slide. Just keep Crystal in the loop. Saliba, your centre half, has been on loan. Has been called up by the French squad. Are you going to bring him back?
I know. I'm happy for him. I saw that earlier on. I was keeping a close eye on the France national team. I hope so. It's interesting. I think he's one of the standout players in the French division, top division this season, isn't he? Especially when you see him going up against the likes of PSG and holding his own. So he's definitely learned a lot. Hopefully he can come back into the squad next season. We saw him for preseason. I believe it was against MK Dons, and I thought he looked decent. There's no doubt that he's definitely added to his game since then. I'm going to take like a temporary pause for Romford, Jeff. I've not been ignoring you.
Don't ignore him.
Perfect question. So this is where my favorite parts comes into play again. So we're gonna go back over and look at
the shared screen.
the first leg of you can read it for yourself there. FIFA World Cup African qualifiers. Earlier on today we saw the
Democratic
Republic. My apologies there, guys. Not even in the same country. So opposite side of the world. You can see DR Congo there. They took the lead in the 12th minute, and unfortunately for them, they were pegged back by Morocco in the 76th minute. More unfortunate news for them if you support DR Congo. They picked up a red card, and that first leg ends 1-1, one apiece. And in the other games, also today we saw Tunisia nick a 1-goal against Mali. It was an own goal as well, so that's not exactly great, is it? The person who scored the own goal, it appears to be the same player with picked up the red card. I know there's so many Musa Sissoko, so I don't sit up.
You know which
so
one
many
it is.
Musa, so I don't even know if it's the same player. I didn't follow the match.
What are these World Cup qualifiers, Crystal?
Yeah, but we can actually find that out for ourselves. Is it the same player? Let's look and see when they took the lead. So when they took the lead, this is the Musa that we're looking
the one
at.
who plays in Belgium. Yeah.
So let's see if we scroll down on the timeline and see when they picked up the red card, if it's the same.
If it's the same one.
Same player. Picked
Hey,
up
your
the red
screen's
card.
going on all right, isn't it? Your screen,
Yeah.
your little
Yeah,
shade
it's the same
Same
one.
Same
player.
one.
So there you go.
Same
You know, we want to make sure that we're on the right correct terms over here. So yeah, there you go, guys. And if we look back at the other games, also today, Cameroon against Algeria. This one always going to be a
Ooh.
blockbuster. This one, and you can see there, Algeria. Pretty much won it in the first half, scored in the 40th minute. The CLA 1-0 advantage there, 1-0 lead going into the second leg. If we go back, and this is the big boy, this is the blockbuster. I say it's the blockbuster, but there's two blockbusters taking place this evening as we speak. 47 minutes on the clock, and it is a stalemate at the moment between Ghana and their biggest rivals, Nigeria. So that's hot. Keep an eye on that. I'm gonna try and give you guys an update if we don't finish.
How do we see
What
that
the
one?
Robo Derby? The Robo Derby.
The Robo Derby. The Robo Derby is this one, guys. I saw Robo on our TV in half and half scarf. You can only guess the reason why he's doing that. So that's why he's not here tonight, people. Look at the team sheet. For those of you who support Liverpool, like our friend Daddy Ernie. You got Mohamed Salah. And you also got Sadio Mane as well. And Mr. Chelsea, this one is for you. You've got your boy Mendy firmly in goal.
And yeah, you got El Nene there too.
Yeah, we got El Nene. We do have El Nene for the Arsenal fans. They didn't even spot El Nene, but yes, we do have El Nene there.
How do we think that one's going to end up? Do you reckon
that one's an interesting one? It's an own goal as well, so that's 2 own goals. I would like to see Senegal, because I'm a fan of Mane. I would like to see them pull one back, peg back Egypt. 1-1 going into the second leg. I think that would be exciting.
That'd be a good result.
Equally as exciting if Egypt managed to carry this one over the line and don't concede. So that's where we're looking. That's how we're looking as things stand.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
I think
the shared screen's got to stay on.
Yeah, I think so. I think we got to have the shared screen in there. What's wrong? Oh, he's woken up. Have a look. He's woken up. 5 Ogs and Angolan. I'm en route to Oxford for. Have a good one, guys. Oh, thanks, Robo. He's managed to wake up. Press the like button.
Yeah, press the like button. Yeah,
press the like button.
Keep pressing.
Going on. Romford Jeff. What? Romford Jeff? He looked like he's confused.
Sugar might make Man United better. Oh, Sugar Cane.
Oh, Sugar Cane.
Yeah.
Sugar might make Man United better, but he will win the Champions League for Man City.
Yes. So what he's trying to make a point that Man City ain't got a centre forward, so they're never going to win the Champions League.
Yeah. Interesting. It's going to be an interesting summer, I think. I think it's going to be a very interesting summer this summer.
I think the games that are left in the Premier League, plus the FA Cup, plus Champions League, the 3 protagonists are all there together. We could end up playing. I could end up playing Robbo in 2 more finals. Can you imagine that?
What's the score at the moment?
He's 1-0 up on me, isn't he?
He's 1-0 up. Okay.
He snuck the game from me, so he's 1-0 up at the moment.
Yeah. So well, that'll be interesting.
And they've got Man City.
Yeah, that's gonna be. Whoa! I'll tell you what, that Palace is not going to be a walkover. You know, Vieira will have them up for that.
No, it's not going to be a walkover, but we have our fans there at least.
Yeah, but Vieira will have Palace up for that one. I'm telling you, it's not going to be a walkover. The only thing I don't like about the FA Cup is that the semi-finals are held at Wembley. And then the finals are held at Wembley. You know, us old enough to remember, you know, Hillsborough,
Villa Park,
City
Ground.
You know that for the semi-finals. You know, holding the semi-finals and the finals at Wembley, the semi-finals kind of take away from the finals, in my opinion. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, when you got 2 teams like Manchester City and Liverpool having to travel down the M1 or the M6 and M1 to come to London for a game, and that weekend there's no trains. Remember, there's no trains running, so they put on 50 coaches for fans to come down, which is
ridiculous.
They could play at Old Trafford and done.
Easy, no problem at all. Or they could, they could play at Villa Park as well. Birmingham.
It don't
You
make
know, they can
sense.
have one each. It's
a
the
nonsense. I
FA.
think they should play, especially you should play the game. If you've got two teams from up north, and as they are, play it so everybody can get there comfortably and enjoy it, rather than have to rush from 6 o'clock in the morning and all that kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm not the FA.
Well, you know that. You know,
me and the FA don't get on at the moment.
I was well, you know, that used to be Arsenal's European Championship, the FA Cup. Sadly, they've been knocked out. They kind of took that as their holy grail every season, but sadly they've been knocked out. I mean, you know, it's just one of those things, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
but they're vying 100 free buses from Manchester United. And what are you talking about?
Yeah.
What's he talking about? Man
That's
United.
It's 100 free buses. That's what the FA putting on.
Yeah, but Man United and Liverpool ain't playing.
No, that's for the FA Cup semi-final. He's talking about coming from up north. Oh, he's in Man City, not Liverpool. Yeah, I get you. He means Man City.
Oh, right, Man City and Liverpool. He's put Man United up there. What's wrong with you, Frank? Are you drinking?
Right. He's trying to wind you up, I think. He's just trying to think that's what it might have been. Poor fella.
No. Oh my word! Here we go. What's that? Offers of free buses. That's absolutely scandalous, really, isn't it? It's a scandal.
That's a 4-hour journey, you know.
And they knew about this. Apparently, the FA knew about the potential of this 6 months ago, and they never put in contingency plans. Listen, it's ridiculous. Who's running that FA?
If you put black people on a coach for 4 hours, it's pure trouble. Yeah, going Barry Island back in the day, and that was a journey, right? And the amount of times you have to stop because they want to stop. So I don't know how long it's going to take them to come down from Manchester and from Liverpool.
You know that.
Going Barry Island is about a 6-hour journey because you have to stop. You have to go to the toilet. Hurry up! We're not going to the bus.
You know that. And in them days, you made the coach driver stop. Nowadays, they've got their stopping points. But in them days, you tell the coach driver, I'm stopping her. You know what I mean? So you can imagine that mob coming from up there. Oh, dear me.
Fun and games.
You know that. Hello, Romford Jeff. I love you as well, mate. Remember, put your comments in the bottom of the page. We'd like to see your comments. Romford Jeff is in there. He says,
"Is he a Man United supporter, Romford Jeff?"
I don't know. No, Romford. He must support somebody like Grays.
He's a West Ham supporter.
You reckon he's West Ham? Grays. I think he supports Grays FC.
Grays Athletic. Yeah.
Billericay. Yeah, somebody like that. You know what I mean? With a name like Romford Jeff. Yeah, lovely. So the Premiership returns next week. Is it next week?
2nd of April. 2nd of April. Yeah.
April next week. The blockbuster there must be Arsenal.
Yeah, derby.
The derby, Arsenal against Crystal Palace.
Monday night.
Monday night.
Under the lights.
Yes, under the lights. That is really because I am convinced. My intuition, Crystal, my intuition has told me that Arteta's really just keeping the seat warm for the return of PV. What do you think?
I mean, I'm not going to be mad at that, but I think at the moment, the way Arteta, the way Mikel Arteta has stabilized the ship at Arsenal, I can't exactly see him, regardless of where Arsenal finish in May, I can't see him exiting the club just yet. But no, maybe, not yet. I think maybe if we're thinking like long term, based off if Patrick Vieira can continue in this positive upward trajectory, then why not? Obviously, that would be a direct link. Bring him home. The king comes home to collect his throne. It does make perfect sense. But for him to even be looked at, he needs to get better and better and better. So it needs to be in a point where he needs to take Crystal Palace to a point where they do something quite similar to Wolves. So you take them to like Europa League, for example, or something similar to West Ham. Bring Europa League to Selhurst Park. And when he does, if he managed to do something like that, hopefully by the grace of God he can, then you can't help but to think this is the appropriate appointment for Arsenal. And it's even a sweeter gift for us as football fans, be it the ones who support Chelsea or Manchester United, to see that a dark-skinned man can elevate a club like Crystal Palace. No disrespect to Crystal Palace fans by saying a club like yours, but for him to step in there, giving the perception, the media perception of black managers, dark-skinned managers, for him to go there and just shatter their feeble perception, it would just be wonderful stuff for football fans in general.
So what Crystal's saying, Ernie, is giving him a couple of years to make himself, and she'll gladly have him at the Arsenal.
Yeah, I wouldn't say.
You'd embrace him.
Yeah,
well, the thing is that Arteta, he was second to Pep, up at Man City. If I remember rightly, Vieira was doing some coaching up there, and he left and went. Where did he go? Did he go to America?
Yeah, because there's a direct link, isn't there?
Yes, and he done stuff there, and then he come back.
He went to Nice in France.
Yes, and then he come back to Palace. Now, when I look at that little track record there compared to Arteta, I mean, Vieira could have easily gone in there ahead of Arteta, don't you think?
I think it's one of those things that we will never have an answer to, really and truly, because we can never take anything away from Arteta in the sense of him being able to just root out that toxicity that was visible at Arsenal. With Patrick Vieira, I'm not saying he doesn't have the capabilities or the abilities to execute the same thing that Arteta has done. It's just that if he does take over from Arteta, then obviously he's going to have the team and the club in a much better positive environment, as opposed to if he had come in before Arteta. So we're not going to have an answer to that, because I don't think that Arsenal or Arteta is going to take a backward approach in terms of the discipline there, the obvious and evident discipline that you can see on show with the players. So I don't think we're going to have an answer to that, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. And talking about the games on the 2nd of April, we're talking about big games. Now, Robbo will never forgive us if we don't mention the Watford-Liverpool game, because the reason why it's a big game, because if Liverpool win that game, they go top.
Because City's not playing.
City's playing, but I think if Liverpool win that game, they go top.
Well, they're going to beat Watford, innit? Let's be honest about it. They're going to beat Watford. You know, the only way that they don't beat Watford is if they turn up with 6 players.
And then I think if Liverpool, I think they've got a game. I thought there was a game where Man City play after Liverpool, so I'm pretty certain that Man City Watford Burnley game, I don't know if it's the same. It's the same day. I stand corrected. Yeah. So if Liverpool win the Watford game at 12:30, they will go top. And then Man City will be playing in the afternoon against Burnley.
I don't think we're gonna see a deja vu with this one, because if I'm not mistaken, it was Watford that clipped Liverpool's wings last time round when they were on like an unbeaten record, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they did it quite beautifully well. Yeah, so I don't think
this time.
No chance. You can see there the possibility of a win there for Watford is 4%. Liverpool 87%. Draw is a 9%. So I can't.
You know what, Rob will be saying, once we get ahead, that's it. We're ahead. That's what he's saying.
It don't matter what Robbo says most of the time. It don't really matter. That's an interesting point, Frank. 3 players from Crystal Palace in the England squad for this up and coming match against Switzerland, and there's every chance that they might even get on.
Yeah, 2 of them we gave Palace. 2 of them we gave to Palace.
Who's that then?
Gehi and Gallagher.
Oh yes, I like that Gallagher. That Gallagher looks like a top player to me in the midfield there. I mean, you know, it's like Vieira has said to him, just go and do your stuff.
Yeah.
He's reveling in it.
He is. Tariq Mitchell is an interesting story. He's never played representative football for England at any level. And he came to Palace, and Patrick Vieira put him in, invested in him, and look where he's gone. He's done really, really well.
But he's in his position. There's a few ahead of him in his position, isn't he?
Yeah, he's there because, Chilwell, Luke Shaw, they're both injured.
Yeah.
So, you know, but if again, he's on. Once you're on the field, make your mark, and that's it. You know, world's your oyster.
Yeah, because people's been saying that my man Luke Shaw's been on the pies again.
He always looks like he's on the pies. What's going on with you guys? He's a Ricky Hatton lookalike, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm telling you. he was on. Apparently, he was on steak and kidney. Then he's changed to pork pies, and he's kind of put on the weight again.
Now, look, Richard says, "Greetings, Crystal, and good evening, gentlemen." See?
Yeah. Where's he been? He turns up at 10 to 9. Where's he been?
He's been out on the pies, isn't he? I suppose.
Yeah. Oh, Richard Smith. Yeah, he's been out on the old steak and kidneys and the pint of lava.
So there's a few games there that weekend.
Who's Chelsea got?
Well, we've got Brentford. We've got Brentford, and the story goes, Brentwood. I'm getting confused. Brentford. So the story goes that by the Brentford game, it is hoped we will have new ownership. That was the plan.
Now tell us about this now, because you've got a little bit of info about
it's
this.
Becoming a bit convoluted, if I could say so myself. So all the hysteria with all the rivals telling me Chelsea's dead, which is fine. I'm not condoning it. Abramovich is gone. The king is dead. Long live the king, kind of thing.
Yeah, but you told me that the FA's allowed him to put 30 million to keep the club going.
And this is where I'm a bit confused, and I'm easily confused at the best of times. So, as it stands at the moment, the FA have allowed Abramovich to put in 30 million quid to keep the club running for now. They're allowed tickets to be sold to away games, but not home games. And I can't work that one out. I don't get that. I really don't get that. As far as the bids are concerned, there's 3 viable bids at the moment on the table. We've got the Ted Bowley bid, who owns the Dodgers in America. And he's sort of paired up with a guy in Switzerland, or a billionaire in Switzerland. And they're being managed with Goldman Sachs. Then you've got Mr. Broughton, a guy called Martin Broughton, who was he was in charge at Liverpool for a while. He brought Henry together at Liverpool. He managed the Liverpool transition.
He sounds like someone who makes tea.
Yeah, he's a posh man. So he's lined up with Sebco, and they've got backing through an Indian billionaire as well.
Wow.
And then the third one, which is the controversial one, and one which has got the most money, is the Ricketts family. So where all the controversy has arisen with them is some of the misogynistic and homophobic emails that were leaked, that were done back in 2009, I think, by the father, who is not involved in the bid. And his father's called Rickett, and the son's called Tom Ricketts, but his father made some homophobic and Muslim statements, anti-Muslim statements, and it all got leaked to the media. And a Chelsea Chicago football fans leader put an email out to say that we shouldn't have anything to do with him, and they're also linked with Donald Trump. So they flew over a couple of days ago to meet with the Chelsea Supporters Trust to really present their case. Paul Canaville, as you know, good old Paul Canners, made a statement in the press to say we don't want nothing to do with the Ricketts. And that's gone a long way. A lot of people have followed his lead. So out of the 3 at the moment, they're the main 3 that have come through. There's one other bidder called Nick Candy, and they've not mentioned him at all recently. He's lined up a few investors from South Korea. So there's 4 that were talked about. All the others have now fallen by the wayside. The Arabs, the Saudi Arabian bid, Saudi Arabia media, that's been kicked to the curb. There was another one from Centrist that's been kicked to the curb. There was another one who's a New York Jets owner, who was an ex-ambassador. He's been kicked to the curb. So I think these 4 are the ones that we're aware of at the moment. The challenge now is to get it done by April 2nd. I don't think it will happen. I think it will go on for another month.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if Nick Candy got it, then because your theme tune is the Liquidator, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if he gets it, he's going to switch it over for the Candy dance. We're going to see.
Oh, please, no. Yeah, we'll be dancing, but we'll still be winning. That's the thing. We'll still be winning. No, but it's been a challenging few weeks, and as you know, me and my mate Sean, we talk regularly about it, and I think Sean's of the opinion he doesn't. If Sean's view is, it'd rather be a British-led bid. He doesn't want no Americans involved, which is fair enough. Because he doesn't want it to go the same way as the Glazers.
Who's that? The Brief?
The Brief, yeah.
The Brief. Sean,
the brief. The Chase. Right. The Dark Destroyer.
Yes.
I tend to agree with him in that if we can keep it a British-led consortium, it'd be good for us. And I think Broughton and Sebco are saying all the right words, getting fan engagement. But I want to put everybody on notice with this. Put everyone on notice. this is a test. This is the template for what we're going to have in the future. The government now are going to get their fingers involved in everything around football. This is just going to be leading a whole overhaul of the whole means and test, the means testing, how clubs are run. Newcastle better watch out because they're not out of the woods yet. And all the other clubs who have got owners, they're going to be gone through like a fine-tooth comb. So, just be wary. But don't follow in our sadness.
The only thing is, right, is that this mob is going to be going through the football clubs with a fine-tooth comb, when really and truly people should be going through this mob with a fine-tooth comb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a bit.
The government is going to go through the club with a fine-tooth comb, but people should be going through the government with a fine-tooth comb.
Well, that's another discussion. I think if Mr. Nestor was here, he'd give you a few insights into that, because they're not. Their hands are far from clean.
You know that.
So when we talk about lobbying and all that stuff that goes on behind closed doors, money being passed through, the golden ticket or the golden visa, whatever it was offered back in the day by all these that made investment in London as part of their remit. So there's a lot of things that seem to have gone amiss that all of a sudden have been sort of kept hush hush, as they say.
Yeah. I wonder what would happen if all the investment money that's gone in, like Canary Wharf and places like that, if the people who invested said, "Here, what happened? We're going to start pulling down these places." It looked like it looked like somebody's bombed it, wouldn't it?
It will come back to old days, mate. There'll be straw huts everywhere.
I'm telling you.
But that's all right from my side anyway. So I'm optimistic. As I said, through adversity comes positivity. So we've gone through it. I've been taking so much licks, and Crystal, you won't believe the amount of memes and there's a sale at Chelsea, everything must go, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm taking it on the chin. But as a club, I think we'll come out of this we'll come out of this and we'll just be just as strong. And remember, we're still in 2 key competitions. So
I just find it amazing that they've allowed, they've said all this about Abramovich, as I call him, Abramovich, and they've allowed him to put 30 million in there to keep the club going. What the hell's going on? They put sanctions and all that on him, and then allowed him to put 30 million to keep the club going.
At the hearing, the guy said the government didn't think it through properly.
They didn't think what?
They didn't think the whole thing through properly.
Oh, they don't. They don't.
It's an interesting one. The 30 mil, I think, in fairness, it does make sense if you're talking about the ordinary everyday person. So the people that works in your concessions, the people that work in the hospitality, they're the ones that's going to be feeling the brunt of the government's decision, because unfortunately, they have families to feed and they have themselves to feed, and the only way they generate money is by going to games and working.
Right. So what happens if they don't get a buyer for the club, and then, in a few more weeks or months, they need another 30 mil? Are they going to let him put in another 30 mil?
It's not something that I would argue against. I don't think it's going to get to that point, because I think they will sort it out as a matter of urgency. But I don't think it's a decision that anyone can debate against, because like I said, there are ordinary people out there who have themselves and their family and their kids to feed, and they shouldn't be made to suffer just because of people who are making decisions that unfortunately have a devastating impact on their lives.
I think you're right, Crystal. I think it's more for the rank and file, the guys that are doing the day-to-day work, that needs to be supported, because they're innocent in all of this. They're just doing the day-to-day job and have been doing it for years. And as I rightly said, so the government have got themselves caught between a rock and a hard place here. They haven't got money at the moment to invest in. They wouldn't be doing it, investing into a football club. So they've got to allow some investment on the basis that obviously he doesn't get anything out of it, which is what he said from the get-go. People forget what he said from the initial statement where he got pilloried for it, but he was very clear. He done want his 1.5 back, and any money that's made net profit will go to wherever it's going. So he's been very clear about that from the onset. But hey, there you go.
Now, just before we wrap up, is Arsenal keeping 4th place warm for Tottenham Hotspurs? Junior Dunbar says Full spot most definitely ain't Manchester United. Laugh out loud. Now, Junior Dunbar, at the best of times, he talks absolute cack. You know what I mean? You know Junior in it, don't you, Lewis?
Yeah, leave Junior, man. He's talking. He's got a good point, though.
He ain't got no point. Let's sort out the Arsenal Spurs conundrum. Is Arsenal keeping fourth place warm for Spurs? Crystal.
Only time will tell with that one, but I've said,
are you
as I said,
that your team can get fourth place?
As I said on our last stream, I think it was the one where Rodney Hines was here. You really and truly can't call it because it's called the business end of the season for a reason. So
squeaky bum time.
Exactly. Like you can't just be naive and complacent and approach these games and think just because you're out in front, then you're home and dry. You're not. You're going to be facing off against teams who are potentially scrapping to avoid relegation, teams who want to force themselves up to a mid-table finish, teams who also want to be to a potential Europa League finish. And obviously then you have three other teams who want to finish in fourth. So it's not just Tottenham that you're worrying about. You also have to worry about Manchester United and also West Ham. So nothing is in Arsenal's favour, just like it is with Man U, Tottenham and West Ham. There's so much to play for. So I honest to God, I can't call it.
So
you're saying that you're not keeping it warm for Spurs then? Basically,
we're not keeping it warm for anyone. There's no one there that we're keeping it warm for because it doesn't belong to anyone. It doesn't belong to a single team. Maybe it should be Manchester United. I don't know that when's the last time they kept anything warm, even for themselves? They just eat cold dinners time and time again, don't they, Manchester United? So
yeah, don't upset Crystal, you know. But listen, the thing about the run-in for these teams. So if you take three key games, Arsenal got three big games that will determine the season.
Liverpool.
Us on the 20th of April.
Yeah.
We've got Man United the week after, and they've still got to play Tottenham. Okay. Those are three key games for Arsenal.
Now, will Arsenal be trying to get that game postponed again?
Don't be mischievous. Come on.
See, when I say that he's wearing the captain's armband like Harry Maguire, you can see exactly why I attached that player to him.
So when you look at Spurs, when you look at Tottenham, their big games. What are their big games? They've got Liverpool away. Other than that, their games, where I could see they're going to have problems, maybe Leicester. But they've got Liverpool and they've got.
No, they're playing us as well. I think we've got them.
No, they've done you.
No.
Finish with you. They haven't got Tottenham. No, Tottenham have got Leicester. The only big games I can see on their fixture list is Leicester. They've got Newcastle, Aston Villa, Brighton, Brentford, Leicester away. And then in May, they've got Liverpool away and Burnley and Norwich. So the only big game Tottenham have got, apart from Arsenal, is Liverpool away, second game to last of the season. Or third from last of the season. And then when you look at Man United now, what's Man United big games?
Well, we got Liverpool.
So we got
Liverpool. We got Liverpool.
You've got Arsenal. You got Liverpool. You got Arsenal.
Yeah.
You got Everton away.
Yeah.
And you've got us at home.
So we've got. I mean, you know as well as I do. Any team that plays against Manchester United always raises their game. So Everton is good to lose every game and beat Man United.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Lampard may not last.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. But if you ask me now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to favour the mob from the Emirates, although I hate them and the mob at the Sainsbury's car park as well. But I just think that because they're not playing as many games as everyone else, I think that gives them just that slight edge.
Yeah, I said that Man United would sneak it, but then when I look at the run-in now and what Arsenal got to do, if Arsenal managed to get, I think the Arsenal-Tottenham game is going to be the key one, even though you're playing us at home. I think the Arsenal-Tottenham game will be really key. I don't know when that's going to happen. I know it's still not been scheduled yet, has it?
No, I mean, there's every chance that they might not even play that game the way Arsenal's going on. You know what I mean? They might just keep on cancelling it. Next thing the season finished.
Early.
Next thing the season finished, they go, oh, we forgot about that one.
So as Robbo's not here, are we going to talk about his Liverpool? Do you think Liverpool will win it?
No. City's going to pick them again. You know, Robbo was saying about 1 point and this and that. City will pick them again. I'm confident. As much as that hurts me to say it as well, but you know what I mean. You know, anybody other than the Scousers, because my trump card at the moment is that they haven't really celebrated the pandemic title. They never had the open top bus. They never paraded the cup around the city centre. They weren't allowed to. So really, when you look back in history, you know what I mean? That's going to be like, not a stain, but it's going to be a little exclamation mark against it. So as long as that's there, we're all right.
And the Champions League draw. Champions League draw. So we're playing Real Madrid.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Liverpool have got Benfica. So that's a win-win. Man City have got, they've got again Villarreal, I think. And then the winners, if we win, we get Man City in the semi.
And Chelsea
and then Liverpool get Bayern Munich or Villarreal. Man City got Atletico. Sorry. Thanks, Crystal. So Man City get Atletico. Yeah. So it could be, if it goes right, I could be playing Robbo again in that final.
Then the
FA Cup, I could be playing Robbo again in another final. So I'm sure he's not going to invite me back. Well, he will invite me back if they win all three, but I can't see that happening.
Well, I'll invite you back. It don't matter. I would take great pleasure in you smashing him to pieces. And we'll bring Sean on as well.
I'll bring Sean on as well. Yeah, bring Sean on. When this all settles down, we've all got to get together, have do a live from a podcast from a pub somewhere where all the beers are flowing, the drinks
beers are flowing. Yeah. J. Ray and nephew and all that. Gussie from Silver Star. Ernie would never say Liverpool's going to win something. You're right about that, mate. You know, 30 years of hate, Gussie. That's how long it took you to get your hands on that. 30 years. You and Jeff Schumann and Robbo Ranks and the rest of you. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. It took us 26, but it took you 30. Shocking. And then you could not even celebrate it. That's the worst thing. You couldn't even celebrate it. No open bus, nothing. Man driving around in some little sports car. Joke
what
business.
What are you like? I'm not getting involved in your thing.
So, did we talk the Ivory Coast? Have we spoken about England and the Ivory Coast? Did we speak about that? We spoke about that. Now, I think that's that's going to be a nice little.
The Ivory Coast front line. Have you seen the front line for the Ivory Coast?
Well, Zaha's in there, isn't it?
Zaha, Pepe, and Haller.
You know they're going to be targeting in the England thing, innit? In the England defence, innit? You know they're going to be targeting in the England defence, don't you? He's going to be falling over, tripping up. He's going to be doing everything other than defending properly.
But he's the greatest centre forward. He's the greatest centre half in the whole of Manchester.
And man's going to run past him. I'm telling you, man's going to run. Listen, my granddaughter's quicker than him. She had a fantastic week this weekend. She won her sport. She played in her football team as well, and they won. I'd put her in a Man United team any day compared to him. What's this? The way things are going in United.
Gus is on form tonight, man.
Yeah.
That's what with Jamaica in Canada, man.
The way things are going, Gus, that's a possibility, but it's really not a possibility because we will be back way before that, mate. You still got to catch us up getting your hands on the Premier Trophy. You've only got your hands on there once, wherever they look. They've only got their name on the Premiership Trophy once, right? With Blackburn and Leeds, right? So whatever they...
Robbo, anytime you mention Liverpool, he gets excited, doesn't he?
Whatever they want to think or whatever they want to say, the proof is in the pudding. Once on the Premiership Trophy, right? I don't care about the other one there, the division when we was kids. You know what I mean? It's all about the Premiership.
When Robbo's back next week, I want to see what's going to happen. All the talk, what's going to happen. Robbo's going to come back firing. He's looking at this now as he's getting ready, thinking, Ernie's got some chat this week, man. Who woke him up? Someone's gone wrong. He's got chat this week. Wait till I come back for him. I'm ready for him now.
So well, we don't have to look at the results for next week. This week we can do that next Friday, really. So during the week, all said and done, I think England will probably sneak a victory against the Ivory Coast. But it wouldn't surprise me if the Ivory Coast do sneak a win as well. I think it's 50-50. It could be phone a friend on that one. Because Switzerland is not going to be easy for England either. I think it's just really, it really is how serious they take the games. Really, we should go along to Wembley and support the Ivory Coast to the max. We should. We should. You know what I mean?
I'm going to support Jamaica against Canada because Crystal.
Yes. See, Lewis, you're always welcome back.
Yeah,
I'm going to support Jamaica against Canada. Definitely. I don't know. I tried to get Winston on the program. I've been trying for weeks to get Winston to shine some light. Is there a new air of confidence within the Jamaica squad now that Paul Hall is there? But I don't know. He's flying all over the place. So hopefully we'll get him on in the next couple of weeks.
I'll try and get some Trini representation as well, because Trinidad did have a good football team at one stage, but it's all crazy at the
moment. When Dwight York used to play for them, they were all right, innit?
Yeah, we did all right until Peter Crouch tried to pull off Sancho's locks. Remember that?
No, I don't remember. What game was that?
That was in the World Cup in 1996 or something in Germany. Remember in the 0-0 draw?
He tried to pull off his lock.
He got a 0-0 draw against England, and Brent Sancho went up for a header because he got locks. Peter Crouch was pulling his locks as he went up for a header. Never forget that.
Oh,
that was my time. What a part!
Crystal, you need to see if you can find some footage on that for next week.
What was it?
Brent Sancho getting his locks pulled by Peter Crouch in the World Cup game in Germany. I think it was 1996. I think it was
1996. So
yeah, that's when Trinidad made it. Soccer Warriors.
Yes, yes, yes. I remember the Soccer Warriors definitely. So that'd be interesting to find that footage if we can for next week. But till then, remember to press the like buttons. We want to get them likes up. Come on, we want to be up there. York played in midfield. Yeah, so what? They still had a good team. What's wrong with Richard Smith? It's the cricket, innit? He was watching the cricket.
West Indies are 210 for 8.
No, they passed England.
Yeah, we got past England.
Whoa! Well done to the two tailenders, because they reckon that they were. When I looked, it was 150 something, and the press said, "Oh, England's going to mop up the tailenders." Well, the tailenders.
Oh, there is.
Hey, 180, Crystal. You're not playing tonight, boy. You are not playing.
I'm telling you.
Now, did he get a foul for that? I bet you did he get a foul?
You're joking, yeah.
He never got a foul for that?
Nah.
Oh, dear me. Did Crouch score?
No, he didn't score. It was a 0-0. I think it was 0-0.
Oh, okay. What is that? Oh, Crystal, you surpass yourself tonight, baby, with the shared screen. 180. Round of applause for Crystal.
And before we go, just want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Have a great weekend. Make sure you get spoiled.
Yes, definitely.
I'm sure you're going to spoil whoever they are. And I know you're going to get, I know a certain Mrs. Harriet's going to be spoiled rotten.
Oh, yeah, but that's by her son. That ain't going to be by me. You get spoiled every day by me. I'm having a day off this
time. Here we go. Look.
I'm having a day off. Crystal, what about you, Crystal? What are you doing?
I won't be doing anything. I'm not a mom, so I won't be doing anything.
Okay, you'll be just chilling as usual.
Yeah, I'll be chilling. Before we go, I'll give you guys a quick update on the Afcon.
Yeah.
How that's going. We're deep inside the latter stage of the second half. So back to my favorite thing.
Hey, yo, share
You can-
screen.
This one you can see that it's still panning out. It's looking like it's going to be a stalemate. Ghana hosting Nigeria for the second leg, 85 minutes, and it is still 0-0. And if we go over to the rubber ranks derby between Egypt and Senegal, you can see that Egypt are still out in front, 87 minutes on the clock with their own goal. So that's shaping up nicely for the second leg of the African World Cup qualifiers.
That match there is actually a rerun of the Afcon final, isn't it?
Afcon
Pretty
final,
much is, yes, it is.
Which Senegal won that one. So yeah, interesting. We'll see what it's like. The replay, you know what I mean? Listen, it's been absolutely real, fantastic.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what, we haven't really missed Robbo, have we?
We're always going to miss Robbo. Come on, let's be real. You need to
Robbo, always.
Yeah, he'll be back next week, all being well, and Crystal will be back. Lewis could be back. Yeah, he might have some hot news for us that we have to bring him back.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for the invitation. God bless you all. Thank you.
Bro. And
all the best.
I know you'll probably have to fly out again. Some personal issues and that.
I'll try to be here.
Best of luck. Any problems? See if you can get the government to sanction Roman to give you some money. What on earth is going on with that lot?
I'm not saying a word. All I know is, I can't say no more. I'll say what I have to say on that, mate.
Right. Listen, absolutely fantastic. Remember, you can watch the show 12 o'clock midday Saturday, Sky Channel 182, Channel 7 on Sky Channel 182. It's been the fixture list. It's been real. Good night, Crystal, and good night, Lewis Mastermind. Respect.
Respect.
Man.